Hello everyone, Marbles here with Every Night a Trip, the place where I talk about the many dreams I have. Did y'all miss me? I did. It's been a while. Since last year. Bad joke. But for real, it's been a while. Sorry if my voice is I just had ice cream. Why? I don't know. I'm freezing. So, yeah. Last month flew by so quickly. My work schedule had me confused, so half the time I didn't know what day it was. And then 2 weeks of the month, my fatigue got so bad, so I just didn't have the will to do an episode. But I have been recording myself nonetheless. Every single morning, if I can remember, I say my dreams on my way to work. I had lots of dreams in December, so I have plenty of stuff for y'all. I try to take advantage of when I do have energy, and right now I'm feeling good. I've been transcribing everything that I recorded, and I can't directly upload those recordings because the quality is so bad. I wish I could, but half the time I'm just over there directing negative comments towards other drivers. But yeah, so anyway, Happy New Year, y'all. I'm looking forward to it. And I want to start off this episode with something that happened not too long ago. I was typing out a dream and I kept messing up my words. I'd be falling asleep and waking up, and I'd be just misspelling a lot of things. I spelled person as Pearson, and once I just fell asleep and I just kept my finger on the letter E. So just a whole bunch of E's across my screen. So I was just like, okay, it's time for a nap. So I took a nap, I woke up, I felt nice, and then within that 1 hour or two that I slept, I dreamt, and it was detailed as always, but I'm just gonna tell y'all the major parts of it. I was at Walmart and my mom called me to ask if I could buy some tables and chairs. My husband Michael was there, but he had left when I got that call, so he couldn't help me, and I was annoyed. I just wanted to go home, so I didn't get the tables and the chairs. I was like, they can go get them, my parents can go get them. So I got to their house, and then Michael messaged me saying that he had gotten home safely, but in the dream it wasn't his home, it was my Uncle Chewy's house. But anyways, my parents were gonna do a cookout, so I started inviting people, and that was it. Then I woke up, and I had to check my phone because there have been a couple of incidents where I've sleep texted, so I had to make sure I didn't invite someone to a cookout that wasn't happening. So fast forward a day or two from then, my mom called me. She told me that my dad had wanted to do a cookout, so they bought meat. It wasn't a lot because they weren't expecting a lot of people. Well, at least my mom wasn't. My dad invited his side of the family, and then they brought their families. So they had to borrow chairs and tables. So yeah, I just thought that was a very strange coincidence. And I hadn't talked to my mom since last year. Bad joke. But it had been a while since I talked to her, so I had no idea about their cookout. Just the fact that I dreamt that I was inviting people to a cookout, I don't know, that was strange. When things like that happen, they make me think deeply about life and even spirituality. Okay, so going back to the reason that I have to check my phone sometimes when I wake up. There have been times where I don't know if I'm asleep or I'm awake or in between, but I do things, some which I've mentioned in previous episodes. A few weeks ago, before the storms came in, I dreamt that I was at my Uncle Chewy's house. It was storming really, really bad, and I don't remember doing this, but when I had fully woken up, I checked my phone, and I saw that I had sent Michael a voice message telling him to drive safe because the storm was really bad. And he was kind of confused. He said it wasn't even raining, but he kind of realized that maybe I just did that in my sleep, or I had just woken up, whatever. I really don't know what happened. Maybe I just heard the heat turn on and thought that was rain. Who knows? Then that same morning, something else happened. I kept dreaming after the dream I had at being at my uncle's house. The rest of the dream took place mostly at his house. I guess I was living there. My bedroom was where Chelly's bedroom used to be, my cousin Chelly. I was cleaning the place up because maintenance people were gonna come around and do some inspections. So I made the bed. I just kept cleaning. I felt nervous. because I didn't know exactly when they would show up, and they eventually did show up. It was a large group of them. They were just walking around mindlessly, not inspecting anything. I was just like, whatever. I went to the living room, and actually, this was the part when I dreamt about the storm. It wasn't before this. It was this part, because I went to the living room and then I looked out the windows. That's when I saw the storm, because I saw the trees moving quickly. And yeah, that's when I sent Michael that voice message. But yeah, in another part, there was a long hallway full of fitting rooms. It was busy. I waited for one to be empty. And I don't remember if I went into the fitting room with clothes or if the clothes were already there for me. Either way, it doesn't matter. I specifically remember there being camo pants, so I was gonna try those on. And okay, tell me why I woke up to me taking my pajama pants off. I caught myself with one of the pants legs off, and I was reaching to take the other side off. And then I was like, what the fuck? What am I doing? I'm definitely losing my marbles. I don't know what it was with the month of December. I dreamt a lot about my Uncle Chewy and my cousin Chewy. If it wasn't me in his house, he was somewhere in my dreams, and I hardly ever dreamt about him before. I'm just gonna summarize those dreams I had, because it's like, I can write essays and essays just on what happens every single night. So for this one, I was at my uncle's house. My brother and some cousins were there around the burn barrel. There were other cousins setting up like caution tape and movie theater line ropes or whatever around the front door and the front gate. I wanted to do a bonfire, but no one paid any attention to me. Then dinner was ready, or it got too cold or something, and we all went inside. Some people stayed outside. But so most of my family was there except for my Uncle Chewy and his wife. We were just using their house for whatever reason. I looked out the window at some point, and it seemed like there was a big fire. It wasn't the burn barrel either, and I got worried because I thought that someone intentionally set the house on fire, knowing that we were all inside. But then I realized that someone very dear to them was inside, and I realized that the house wasn't on fire. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't have set the house on fire with that person inside. In the next one, I was at Tío Chuy's house again, but this time it took place in his house in Mexico. I think they were gonna have visitors or something, and someone was asking us if the place was okay, like clean enough. I started to help them clean, but then I think I stopped and said something about how everyone has their own definition of clean or their own ways to decorate. Then there were a whole bunch of blankets and sleeping bags on the ground. I think all the younger cousins or something, they were gonna sleep there, but then a whole bunch of other people came in, all adults. They were like, I don't know, looked like they were in a motorcycle gang or something, but they came in and I threatened one of them, maybe like their leader. I told them if they lay a finger on any of those kids that they're gonna have to deal with me. And then I remember seeing like a glass display, like the ones at malls with the mannequins in them. Those glass displays were surrounding the room, but they didn't have mannequins in them. I think they had like turrets in them or something. I find that one and the other one where I was making the bed, I find those interesting because they're both showing a concern about cleanliness. And that's not the only one I've had recently about cleanliness. Just keep listening. So this next one is ridiculously long, so flock that. But basically, an old friend, Judith, was trying to drop me off at work. My Uncle Chewy was there driving behind us. He and whoever he was with, they were gonna go to Mexico. They were following the car I was in because Judith was supposed to drop me off at work, and then they were gonna drive her home. I thought that was ridiculous. Her house was in the complete opposite direction that they were going towards. So we pulled over and I told my uncle that I could drop off Judith so that they wouldn't have to make such a large detour. And everyone was okay with that, so we all shook hands and parted ways. And there was another part where I was at my uncle's place. I remember my cousin Chewy being there, maybe her mom. We were eating or something, and my cousin Chucho showed up. If y'all haven't listened to my previous podcasts, well, Chucho passed away many, many years ago. But yeah, he showed up, he was chilling. There was a piece of paper somewhere, and he grabbed it. He wasn't supposed to get it. He wasn't supposed to read it. I remember looking at it before he grabbed it, and it was really just nonsense, but in a way it made sense. But yeah, he saw it, and I guess the paper had said that he had died, and he was only temporarily back with us. So when he saw that, I went to the bathroom. I don't know if I really had to use it or if it was just me using the bathroom as an escape so that I wouldn't see Chucha's reaction to him finding out that he was dead. And I guess it was a good thing because I think he did get mad, like really, really mad, that they didn't tell him. They weren't planning on telling him. In another dream, I saw my cousin Chewy on the bus. I got off and she smiled at me and said bye. In another, we were at a park and Chewy showed up and her sister was there. They had fabrics and then we all ended up wearing dresses made from those fabrics. They weren't the same, but we were all matching in a way. They were a nice soft lavender color and a light orange. They were pretty. And then we went to my parents' place to show everyone our nice dresses. Now the next one, I'm so sorry, Chewy, if you're listening. I can't control my dreams. This one was pretty awful. And I'll include more details in this one because it's just disturbing. I was somewhere with Chewy and two of her daughters, but it wasn't really them in a way. But anyways, so Chewy was walking with one, I was walking with the other, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a shopping cart for you and you can sit in the seat. And so the first girl, the older one, she was basically leading the way, and she walked us into a Target. We were gonna go to like a Ross or a Marshall's or whatever, so we just kept calling after her like, no, we're going over here, we're not going to Target. She wasn't listening, and we realized that it was because she had her earpods in. So we made her take them off. Then we went back to the Ross area, which was weird. It was like an indoor-outdoor type of market. I guess Chewy was looking for bananas or something, and she just ran off. She left us all behind. We tried to catch up to her and we couldn't, so we lost her. And then I made sure that the little one always held onto my hand so that she wouldn't get lost. But as for the older one, she had been with Chewy, so I didn't have my eyes on her when Chewy disappeared. So she got lost too. So it was just me and the little one, and we tried to look for her mom and her sister. Eventually we did find her sister. She didn't know where her mom was. So the three of us stayed together and we just kept looking around. We got to this one stall that had like t-shirts, anime t-shirts. Then Chewy randomly showed up next to us. Apparently, she had stopped by someone's place or shop or whatever to get some type of nail surgery done. She had a white speck on her thumb, so she went and got that taken care of. And I looked up the procedure and I was like, are you sure that was a good thing to get done? Because apparently some people have had complications. She was like, whatever. So then we left. I guess one of Chewy's daughters was driving a van, and it was nighttime. The girl hit someone who had been standing in the middle of the road, and then she kept driving. And there were more people. Either they were on bicycles or motorcycles. They were just standing there, like in the middle of the road. It was just a lot of them. And the girl drove over all of them. Cops showed up, like, immediately, and we got out of the van so that people wouldn't suspect that we had been the ones responsible for what happened. The police did kind of see us, but they were ignoring us because they were just so horrified by all the people that were run over. And it ended up being like 60 people that were run over, and none of them survived. So it was disturbing. I could see people's insides just there smeared across the roads. It was nasty. But yeah, we just kept going, trying to get away from there. But yeah, gruesome, right? I don't know why my mind is like this. Anyways, thank you for tuning in to my first episode of 2025. I'm so sorry to keep y'all waiting, but I sure am looking forward to putting out more episodes for y'all. And I'm looking forward to other things, like I want to get back into music somehow. Last year I didn't do too much with it because of my health issues, but now I'm feeling inspired. I'm so much better. I feel inspired. I'm also hoping that I can get at least one more subscriber. Just kidding, I don't care. I would like to get a bit more organized because I feel like I'm all over the place with this and other things. But yeah, with this, like I'm over here talking about the Legend of the Monkey Man. Then I decide to interpret dreams. Then I end up just including songs that have things to do with dreams or sleep. So it's just a little too disorganized for me. So we'll see what I come up with. I do like what I did last month though, how I just recorded everything I remembered from my dreams. When I woke up or whenever I had the chance, I would type them down. Then I could just look back at everything in chronological order and then just pick which dreams I want to make into episodes. It's quite a time-consuming process, but it helps me see the various patterns in my dreams, whether they're recurring themes, people, or places, and it's cool to see how those patterns relate to my waking life. Like during the month of December, like I said earlier, and I don't know if y'all paid attention, but I dreamt a lot about cleanliness, which makes sense because I've had such a mess all month. Well, last month, I couldn't really clean because I had so many Christmas things just all over the place before Christmas and after Christmas, so it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna wait for the holidays to pass to focus on cleaning. So yeah, the messiness was constantly on my mind. And I think I dreamt so much about my uncle Chewy because my parents went with them to Mexico, and it's just their safe return to the States has just been constantly on my mind. That's all I wish for. So yeah, it's cool to see those broad patterns emerge throughout all the dreams I have. I think once I notice those recurring things, it'll be easier to interpret my dreams in general. But yeah, doing that in a way also serves like a journal of things that happen in my everyday life too. Like, okay, December 2024. There were bad storms, or I dreamt this because I watched that movie, or I dreamt about drones because that's when the drones commotion was happening in December. My dreams correlate with real things, so yeah. Anyways, I might stick to that process. We'll see. Thank you again for everything. If you want to wish me Happy New Year, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, by commenting or sharing. It'll get a smile out of me. Much prosperity for everyone. Stay positive, share positivity. I'll see y'all next time. And it won't be too long from now, promise. Ciao!